Hi students, I am here with you. Today we are going to see the next part of our human health and diseases. Okay, so let us move. We are going to see today what are the basic concepts of immunology. Okay, what are the basic concepts of immunology? Before we touch the immunology topic, we should have a brief about why we need to study this immunology and what is the main concept which makes us to know about this immunology. Okay, so we know that hygiene, if we use the term hygiene, okay, hygiene means something. Actually, it is a set of practices which are performed by the people for the good health. Okay, the set of practices performed by the people to maintain their good health. But according to WHO, World Health Organization, what do we mean by hygiene? Hygiene is a condition, okay? It is the conditions and practices that help to maintain the health, that help to maintain health and prevent the spread of diseases. And just to prevent the spread of disease. Okay, good. So the condition and practices to maintain the health that prevent the spread and prevent the spread of diseases. Okay, so personal hygiene refers to the maintaining of one's body clean by bathing. So we know this, we are also involved in it. Okay, we are bathing daily, washing hands. Okay, washing hands, it is the personal hygiene. Okay, and trimming the fingernails. Okay, you should trim at least weekly one times. Trimming the fingernails. Okay, so trimming the fingernails, wearing clean clothes. Okay, clean clothes. Then and also includes the attention for keeping the surfaces. That is the surfaces which we are in contact within the 24 hours, okay, in home or at the workplace, including toilets, okay, bathroom facilities. We have to keep them clean and pathogen free. So this may include the practices of personal hygiene. Okay, maintaining the personal hygiene. So in the maintaining the personal hygiene, these things are included. Okay, we know that our public places, they are very teemed with infection, contamination and germs. It seems that every surface we touch and the air we breathe are full of pollutants. Okay, pollutants will be there. Okay, pollutants are there, and we have microbes there. Okay, microbes are there. It is not just the public place that are unclean, but if you see, we will be amazed that the number of people who do not wash their hands before taking food. And after visiting the restroom, what happens actually, or who sneeze, who sneeze without covering their face, they are also the vectors of the infection. Okay, they are prone to the infections. Many infection diseases such as the commonly we see here in our community is typhoid. Okay, typhoid disease, amoebiasis, which we have discussed in our previous sessions, and ascariasis. Okay, these diseases we have discussed in our previous sessions. These are mostly transmitted through contaminated food and water. Okay, so since we are in the advanced age now, due to the advancement in science and technology, it provides the effective controlling measures for infectious and non-infectious diseases to us. Okay, so the use of vaccines. What is vaccine? This we are going to study. So this becomes the base why we want to study the immunology. Okay, and what immunology is, we are just approaching to this our topic. So we have the concept of vaccines and adopted immunization programs that have helped to eradicate many epidemics, or we can say pandemic diseases, like we have smallpox, especially in India. The smallpox has been totally eradicated. This is no more now in India, smallpox, because of the vaccination and adopted immunization programs which we are running which the government of India is running here. Moreover, a large number of infectious diseases like we have polio, diphtheria, then pneumonia, is there. Okay, like these diseases we have pneumonia, and we have moreover the one of the hazardous disease, that is tetanus. Tetanus is also, these have also been controlled by the programs of vaccination and by creating the awareness among the people. Now let us try to move our main topic. See, actually what we studied till now, there are some vaccination programs or adapted immunization programs which help us to eradicate many diseases like which are very dangerous, like polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, tetanus, smallpox, and so forth. Okay, but what is the mechanism for this? How it became possible for us to eradicate from this? Actually, the thing what we are using is, when there is human body, this human body is having its own defense mechanism. Whenever a foreign particle, that can be a pathogen, whenever it enters the body, our body is starting defending it by many ways. Okay, so what is the defense mechanism of our body, which is the which is the result of this vaccination? What it is actually, it is the immunology. Okay, this week we'll see under immunology. Okay, let us come to the topic. Immunology, it is a study of immune system. Just we want to study here what? Immune system of the body. So immune system, we know that this immune system is the defense mechanism of body. Defense mechanism of body. So it means whenever a foreign particle like pathogen or any antigen comes to our body in contact with our body system, our body will react it. This system protects an individual from various infective agents. It refers to all the mechanism. This immunology, it refers to all the mechanism used by the body to protect itself okay, protect itself from environmental agents. Whatever, it cannot be always the infectious, pathogens, okay. Any environmental agent is there. So this helps us to protect from any information that which are foreign. So we call them as foreign to the body. So when they are foreign to the body, our body is having a system that by which it can recognize it, and it will try to fight against it, to eradicate it. And if it is an organism, like a living thing, it will try to kill it first, then to move it out of the body. That is we are going to study now. When the this immune system does not function efficiently in an individual, so this leads to the infection, okay. Actually, we don't know that our body is 24 hours we are coming in contact with different types of pathogens. So these pathogens continuously our body is fighting with them because of the immune system what we have, okay. But sometimes what happens actually, when the immune system of our body does not function efficiently, maybe there is heavy load of the foreign particles, that is the pathogens in our body, it leads to the infection causing the disease. Finally, a person is so called as he is having disease, okay. The overall ability of the body to fight against the disease caused by the when we want to defense, our body has defense against the disease. So that is what we call it as immunity, okay. This body is having a property of immunity by which it eradicates or it fights against the disease causing pathogen, okay. It is also called the disease resistance immunity, okay. This is the result of disease resistance, the resistance of the body, okay. So when we are having lack of this immunity, the body is not able to fight against the disease causing pathogen. That time we call it as susceptibility. Okay, susceptibility is a condition where the lack of immunity is there. So when the body is not able to fight against this, immunity is highly specific. There are many features of the immunity. This immunity, the immune system of our body, it is highly specific. Specific means what? Specific means particular, okay. It is directional, means it can only it can recognize the thing by the system, then it can start reacting against that specific object, okay, that particular object. Normally many of the responses of the immune system initiate the destruction and elimination of invading organisms. We can have invading organisms which enter our body, or we can have the toxic molecules, or it can be chemicals which are produced by these invading molecules. So it is not only the organisms are eradicated, but we have one more thing here, that is the toxic molecules which are produced by these pathogens. They are also eliminated, okay. They are also eliminated by the immune system. These immune reactions are destructive in nature and are made in response only to the molecules that are so called foreign, to our system, okay. and we are not we will not respond that are ours. Only foreign things will be eradicated, eliminated from the body, and those who are of ours, they will not be affected. This ability to distinguish the foreign thing and what is our thing, this is also one of the fundamental character of the immune system. Number one, it was specific. Number second, it is what? It is having the ability to distinguish the foreign and the self molecule. Okay. However, sometimes what happens actually, occasionally the immune system fails to make its distinction and reacts destructively against itself. In some cases, our own immune system, what it will do, it will start reacting with the self, means it destructs against the self, that host, its own molecules. Okay, this is the autoimmune response. Autoimmune response. So it is a disease. It can be fatal to the organism, means the organism can die in these cases. Okay, so this is happening here. Almost we have all the macromolecules. Molecules, like, you know that what are macromolecules? The molecules, these are the heavy molecules, like we have proteins, polysaccharides, nucleic acid like DNA, RNA. Okay, nucleic acids, that is DNA, RNA, etc. These all can be recognized by the immune system as long as they are foreign to it. Okay, if these are also foreign to the host means the body which can respond to it, so these can also induce the immune response. Okay, these can also induce the immune response. Any subject capable of, if we have any subject that is capable of, see, this is very important, any subject, or we can say any particle which is capable of eliciting, eliciting means initiating or starting the immune response. If any subject or any object is there, any substance is there, which can switch on our immune system, okay, eliciting the immune response of our immune system of the body, that is called antigen. Okay, now we understood what is antigen. We are daily eating the things and we are breathing. Along with that, there are different things, but anything that can switch on our immune system, okay, against it, that foreign particle, we call it as antigen. Okay, here if we try to understand, anti means what? Antigen. Anti means against what? It is against the body. Gen means what? Antigen. Gen means generator. No, it is actually anti, G-E-N-E, anti. No, if we try to understand this is actually antibody, and gene means generator, G-E-N-E-R-A-T-O-R. Antibody generator. Antibody generator. So antigen, because of this, antibodies will be generated. What are antibodies? Those we will also come to know in our following session. So overall, there are two broad classes of immunity responses. the response given by the body, we can classify them in two ways. Okay, for example, number one is innate immunity. Innate immunity, and number second is acquired immunity. Acquired immunity. Innate immunity and acquired immunity. These are the two broad classes by which our body defends against any foreign particle that invades or that comes in contact with it. Okay? So we'll try to understand what is now innate immunity. In simple ways, innate immunity is the natural phenomena. It is the natural defense. It is the natural defense of resistance to the infection, okay, which an individual possesses right from the birth. Right from birth. So in our body, we are having the natural system of defending the foreign things, which we got right from the birth. It is actually a non-specific response. Non-specific means it is not particular to the object. Okay, whatever foreign particles are there, it will defend them. Okay, it will not see the name. Okay, there are it is which includes the wide range of potentially infectious agents. Otherwise, it is called that is why it is called a non-specific immunity. Innate immunity is also called non-specific immunity, or we call it as natural immunity. Okay, so students are they want to know, sir, actually what are the different examples we have here. We have a full list of examples. For example, we can take it as skin. Skin we got from the birth itself. Okay, skin is also it is called, we have some anatomical it is an anatomical barrier. Anatomical means that is related to the body makeup. Anatomical, we have anatomy and physiology. Okay, so it is an anatomical barrier of our immune system. Okay, so the skin, it prevents the entry of microbes in it. Yeah, the skin, it prevents the entry of microbes. So if we can easily understand it. Skin is there, that is the man barrier that will not allow any of the foreign particles to come in contact to our blood circulatory system or our internal system. Why? Because it is a natural barrier. Okay, so it prevents the entry of microbes in it. So whenever there is skin is torn or we are having any injury, the internal system is exposed. After some time, we can see pus formation is there, and something. So inflammation, because of microbes which were in air or in soil, which when came in contact with that part of our body, so it became prone to the pathogens. So skin is man barrier. So it is acidic environment. You know what is the pH of our skin? pH of skin is ranging from 3 to 5. Okay, so it is acidic. It retards the growth of microbes also in it. It cannot allow the microbes to grow on it because of this low pH. Then, like skin, we have mucous membrane also. Okay, mucous membrane. This mucous membrane, skin was outside. Mucous membrane is also an anatomical barrier. Okay, so it is inside the body. The mucus, suppose it is in the nose and in our full respiratory system. Mucus, that is the liquid part portion. Okay, it is a secretion given by the cells which are present in our gastrointestinal system, or we can say in our respiratory system. Okay, the mucus entraps the foreign microbes and competes with microbes for attachment. You understand? So the microbes are not allowed to attach with the cells, because our cells, suppose these are the cells. Okay, these are the cells. These cells, they have a thin layer of mucus here. Okay, they have a thin layer of mucus. This mucus will not allow any foreign bacteria to go and contact these our cells. So this is also a physical barrier of our system. Okay, that's a natural barrier. Then like we have physiological barrier, other physiological barriers. We have temperature. Okay, temperature, the normal body temperature also, it also inhibits the growth of pathogens. Fever also, for example, fever also inhibits the growth of pathogens. Sometimes what our body is doing is fever. Because of the fever also, the growth of pathogens is inhibited. Then low pH is also one of the source in the innate or natural or non-specific immunity. Okay, low pH, acidity of the that is gastric secretions, like we have HCl. This hydrochloric acid that is produced in the stomach. Okay, so this hydrochloric acid, it also kills lot of microbes which we ingest during when we eat the food. Okay, so this is also one way. Then the chemical mediators which are also present here, we have some chemical mediators present in our body, like lysozyme. This is also naturally present in our body, lysozyme. This lysozyme, which is present in our body naturally, it acts as an antimicrobial agent and it cleaves the bacterial cell wall. Okay, it cleaves the bacterial cell wall. Then we have the interferons, which are also present. Interferons. These interferons, they are the antiviral agents which they induce antiviral state in the uninfected cells. Okay, they are mostly helpful in the antiviral state of the body. Okay, then complementary substances are also produced from the leukocytes, which lyse the leukocytes, L-E-U-C-O. Leukocytes are the cells which are present in our body, and these lyse the pathogens, or they facilitate there. These are the leukocytes are present in our bloodstream. They lyse means they break down the foreign, what are all the coming. So they break down them. Then after breaking down them, they can just facilitate the phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is the ability of the cells to engulf or to eat the foreign particle. Okay, then we have some phagocytic barriers also. For example, we have some cells in the blood, that is monocytes, neutrophils, and tissue macrophages. They can digest the whole microorganism by themselves. Likewise, we have the inflammatory barriers, like tissue damage and infection. Whenever we see that, there is it induces the leakage of vascular fluid containing some signals like serotonin, histamine, and prostaglandins. These are the different types of chemicals, chemical signals induced at the time when there is any tissue damage. Okay, so they also lead to the phenomenon that is called diapedesis. Okay, by this way they can defend the foreign particle. So this was all. We have here a series of like lysozymes in our tears also. Okay, when you have a tear, that is the lacrimal gland of our eyes. They secrete the lysozyme continuously. If you see it, the watery material that is coming from the eyes, that is actually the lysozyme, which can kill all the microbes which come in contact to our eyes. Like then you can see in your nose also, it is having the capacity of removal of airborne particles. Okay, in our this respiratory system, we can see we have mucus and cilia. Okay, mucus and cilia. So they also help to eradicate the foreign particles. In the gut, if you come in stomach we have the acid HCl. Okay, this is responsible for killing that. Then we have the skin barrier that is common for full body outermost covering of our body. This is also one of the best example of this non-specific or natural immunity. Then we see the change in the pH in the intestines also. Okay, and then like this we have in the genital system, the low pH also is an example of what? Innate immunity. So these were the different ways how our body naturally defends the immune system. Okay, how our body naturally defends the foreign particles which are common to all of us. Now let's come to the acute immunity. So acute immunity means the immunity that an individual acquires after birth. Acquire. Okay. After birth. Innate immunity, wholly and solely, it was related to we got from the mother. Okay, it is in the birth, but this is after the birth. Okay, this is called acute immunity. This acute immunity, if we are getting this type of immunity in the future. Okay, after birth only, it is the body's resistance to the specific pathogens only. So it means that when the innate immunity fails, okay, we have some foreign these nowadays pathogens which can cross this innate immunity. Okay, so they cross the barrier of skin, they cross the barrier of mucus and acid and everything. Finally, they reached their destination, that is blood, liver, wherever part of the body. But our body is having one more type of immunity that is specific to it, specific to those pathogens. Okay, so that is called specific immunity, or we call it as acute immunity. The acute features of the acute immunity, the unique features of acute immunity are, they are antigen specificity. What? Antigen. What type of antigen is there? Antigen, as we discussed, it is the foreign particle, okay, antibody generator that invades our body. So it is acute immunity is antigen specific. Then it is a diversity also. Diversity, that is means it is very colorful. By different ways it can recognize the foreign particle, it can kill it, or it can make it to move out of the body by different ways. Okay, and it is having also one property of recognition of self. What? So here we are talking about different features Number one is it is antigen specificity. That is a particular antigen, only the foreign particle will be killed by these. Okay. Then it is diversity. Diversity means by different ways it can kill the different types of organisms. Okay, pathogens, or we can call them as antigens. Then it can also recognize the self. It will not attack its own cells. Okay. And what is self and what is non-self, it can just understand it. Okay. And not only this, one more feature of the acute immunity is immunological memory. Immunological memory. So what does this mean? Immunological memory means once there is an attack by the pathogen, if the same pathogen invades the body in the second time in future, at that time we are having the memory cells which recognize it that this type of antigen had come to our body before itself. Okay, so based on that they will kill it and attack it how they had done in the past. So it means we are having some cells, they are called memory cells. Okay, by the use of these memory cells, our acute immune system can recognize them. So this is also one of the feature of the acute immune system. So this acute immune system is little bit vast, diverse. So we need to understand it very broadly. What are the different components in it? Okay, the acute immunity has two components. This is acute immunity. Okay, it is having two main components. Number one is cell mediated. Cell mediated immunity. So we call it as CMI. And number next is antibody mediated immunity. Antibody mediated immunity. So what does this mean? When we talk about the cell mediated, so these are the two hands. These are the two hands of this acute immunity. Okay, that is the specific immunity. So here we have cell mediated. So sometimes these are the two hands, right hand and left hand. By these two ways, it can help to recognize and to make the system active and make the system to do its work, immune system to do its work. Okay, so by this way what will happen, actually it can help us to make our immune system active. So two hands are here, cell mediated. Sometimes in acute immunity we say that cells directly are used to kill the foreign pathogen or antigen, to eradicate from that antigen. Okay, but sometimes it produces the immunity, antibodies only. What are antibodies? These antibodies are the proteinaceous particles, micromolecules, which are produced by some cells or some blood cells, by it is acting as a blood. Okay, the blood, we can say that. So it acts as a blood. What happens, actually the antibodies are produced by some cells in our body. By these antibodies also we can kill the foreign particle. Okay, now this cell mediated immunity is actually when the pathogens are destroyed by the cells without producing the, here we don't have, antibodies are not involved here. Antibodies means, suppose this is our cell, that is WBC. Till now we know the WBCs only, but inside we'll see what types of WBCs we have. So the WBC will directly go and it will kill the foreign particle. Okay, it will not produce any type of chemical. Okay, so it is destroyed. The foreign particle is destroyed by the cells without producing any antibodies. Then it is known as cell-mediated response, or we call it as cell-mediated immunity. This is brought out by different types of cells. For example, we have different cells here involved. Number one is T cells. T cells. Okay, these T cells are the T killer cells also we call them. These are also involved directly. They go and they kill the this foreign particle. Then macrophages. Then we have natural killer cells. Natural killer cells. Okay, so this is one way of acute, this is one hand of acute immunity. The other hand of acute immunity, where the antibodies are produced when the pathogens are destroyed by producing the antibodies by the cells. It is known as antibody mediated, or we call it as humoral, HUMORL, humoral immunity. Humoral immunity is also the name given to this type of immunity. This is brought about by the B cells. Okay, we have here B cells. B cells, this is a group of cells which help in producing the antibodies against the antigen present in the cells, and T helper cells also. So T helper cells are also helpful to produce the antibodies against the pathogen or the foreign particle. The antibody production is the characteristic feature of vertebrates only. Okay, so we have a full kingdom of animals. Among the animals, only vertebrates okay, are only producing the antibodies. It means horse, cow, goat, what are all the vertebrates we have, they can only produce these types of antibody mediated immunity. They have this capacity. Okay, let us move to so this is all for today. Till now we have discussed different things I will just make a small summary what we did, so that we can move to our next session in future. Okay, till now we have discussed what do we mean by the maintenance of personal and public hygiene. Okay, little bit we discussed about cleaning and maintaining the personal hygiene, and what is the need for cleaning the things which are surrounding us, and by which way we come to the immune system, to know about the immune system, because we are fighting continuously with some pandemic or epidemic diseases like smallpox, polio, diphtheria, pneumonia and tetanus. Then we came to know about what is immunology, the study of the immune system, and in immunology we came to know what is immunity and what is susceptibility. Then finally we came to know what is an antigen and what are the different innate immune systems. Okay, we came to know what is innate immune system, because there are two broad classes of immunity in our body. One is innate immunity and other is acute immunity. In innate immunity we discussed about skin, mucous barrier, that is the mucous membrane, temperature, low pH, and some other things we also discussed here. Then followed which was what is a non-specific or natural immunity that we call as the same, that is innate immunity. So why is the name given to it, and in our body what different parts are involved in it. Okay, how does it work? And the acute immunity also we discussed, when the body fails to defend the foreign particle by the innate immunity, how acute immunity gets activated and how it responds to the body, and what are the different components of the acute immunity, that is cell mediated immunity and antibody mediated immunity. This also was discussed here. So we will go to the next, that is the types of acute immunity. That is very important, but not now. So the types of acute immunity will be discussed in the next session. So I hope my students understood the topics which I taught to them today. So that is all for right now, because our time is almost 45 minutes we have passed in this class. We should not go more, otherwise we'll get a little bit, there will be something, tiredness will be there. So before we move to the next topic, all the students are here requested, you have to create the notes of what I have taught here, and you have to maintain it for the exam purpose and for your understanding. So till we meet in the next session, goodbye. Okay, assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.